Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at a really fascinating and honestly pretty wild stack of material. It all centers on something called Protocol 777.
Right. It's this alleged century-long doctrine of extraction, and it all supposedly leads to a planned global system halt.
And this isn't just one document, right? It's a whole forensic audit, pulling from physics, security intelligence, even corporate history.
Exactly. So our mission here is to unpack this alleged operational blueprint. The core claim is that the Large Hadron Collider, the LHC, is being used for more than just particle physics.
Okay.
It's being used to coordinate a targeted electromagnetic pulse, an EMP, and it's synchronized with a very specific celestial event.
The goal being to use the sun itself as a weapon. To what, wipe financial records?
That's the claim, to wipe the ledgers clean.
Wow. Okay, so using the sun as a weapon, that's a huge claim. The source material must point to some kind of physical mechanism for this. You mentioned a 998-second loop.
Yes, it's all based on the round-trip time for a signal to travel from Earth to the sun and back, 499 seconds each way. The protocol alleges that the LHC is being used as a magnetic driver to exploit this exact timing.
To create a kind of resonance, a standing wave.
Precisely. The LHC is, in theory, vibrating in time with the sun.
Okay, but how could they possibly measure that? How would you even detect that kind of connection?
Through what the source calls the heliospheric noise floor. The claim is that the solar background flux, it scales directly with the LHC's energy output.
So, for example, they cite the 6.8 TV Run 3 back in 2024, saying it correlated with extreme noise events on the sun.
And they claim that proves causality. And the trigger for the main event, it actually involves hardware they're installing right now.
The new magnets.
The niobium tin magnets for the high luminosity upgrade. The protocol claims the EMP will be triggered by forcing a synchronized quench.
Hang on, what is a quench? Explain that in simple terms.
A quench is, well, it's basically a controlled system failure, a giant electrical short. The magnets just rapidly release all their stored magnetic energy, gigajoules of it.
So they would deliberately trigger this catastrophic release.
To fire the final pulse from Earth.
But a pulse from Earth, even from the LHC, wouldn't be enough for a global event. It needs an amplifier. That's where this interstellar object comes in, right? 3 IAT Glace.
Correct. Discovered in July 2025. And the source is very specific. It's not just a comet. It's described as a hypervelocity plasma dynamo.
Because of its strange jet configuration, this C7 thing.
Exactly. It effectively acts as a capacitor. The LHC-induced solar flare hits the comet, which triggers a plasma tail disconnection event. And because of that jet structure, the theory goes, the comet fires a concentrated pulse right back at Earth.
So LHC pumps the sun hits the comet fires the EMP. We've covered the how. So let's pivot. Why do all this? What's the financial goal here?
The ultimate goal is what they call administrative nullification, the system halt, and the timing is key. It's aimed for the year-end liquidity squeeze.
December 25th to the 27th.
Right. When settlement systems are at their most vulnerable, the EMP would wipe the volatile memory of banking ledgers. It would mask the theft of billions in unsettled capital. It just becomes an act of God, a force majeure.
An entire century-long plan comes down to 3 days in December. And the history, the source traces it all back to 1930s New Zealand.
That's the Ahuri Nexus. It allegedly starts with a company called Empire Tongue Oil Products, or ETOP. It was set up in Napier, New Zealand, in 1937 by an agent of the Nazi Party's foreign branch, a man named Kurt Wilhelm Schmidt.
And this is the foundation of the whole extraction mechanism. And after the EMP, they're ready with the solution, I assume.
They're prepared to introduce their own proprietary technology, a post-silicon zero-point field, or ZPF tech, that can survive the pulse. Something called an acoustofluidic rectifier, which can supposedly harvest ambient energy.
Before we run out of time, the sources also had the survival instruction, the Nimrod protocol.
Yes, it's a surprisingly simple guide for surviving what they call the 3 days of darkness, the expected atmospheric toxicity. You seal a room and you burn a beeswax candle near the floor. The water vapor and the wax itself supposedly scrub non-polar toxins from the air, creating a breathable zone.
So we've laid it all out. A conspiracy that leverages fundamental physics, comets, and deep financial history for a global reset. It's an incredible synthesis of completely disconnected fields.
It is, but there's one final detail that, for me, stands out. It's about protecting their own hub in Napier. The source claims they employ something called the Panina shield.
Okay.
It allegedly uses a biological entity, a giant electric kraken, The scientific name given is Gigantopoda electricus dormant in the Panyun Reef. It supposedly generates an electrostatic plasma sheath to reflect the EMP away from them. So you have to ask yourself, what does it imply about the scope of this protocol if it includes a highly specific biological defense mechanism alongside particle physics and orbital mechanics?